Welcome everybody to the first NCAA basketball video cast as we march towards madness and hopefully get some good picks here. I'll be doing these every single weekend, maybe throw in an interweek game if I have some time and if the picks are doing pretty well. Hopefully I'll have a guest as we get towards Selection Sunday. But let's get started. The big game on Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's Kansas going on the road to Texas. Kansas getting 3.5 points. Kansas off that big win against Oklahoma where they were up 20 points early in that game. Let it slip away. Oklahoma took the lead before Kansas closed it out at home. And this is off a loss against Iowa State. Now it's to Texas. 3 straight juggernauts in the Big 12, probably the best conference in America. This one is going to be tough for Kansas. And like the Big 10 over the last couple of years, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't like taking Big 12 teams on the road because you get into hostile environments and the whistles don't start going your way. You need to play perfect basketball to come away victorious. So right now I lean towards Texas at home. Now let's break this down a little bit further. I have to get something off my chest here. Perry Ellis. How old is this guy? He looks like he's in his mid-30s, and that balding hairline not doing so good. He should use some of that scholarship money he's receiving to get some Rogaine. But the old guy does have a couple of youngsters with him that make this Kansas team very potent. You have Alexander, you have Oubre, and you have Graham. So with Ellis, a very solid team, but not your typical Kansas team where you have the big guys down low like Ostertag, who played 17 years at Kansas. They are a perimeter-based team, shoot a lot from the outside. They have the last 2 games, and when you're on the road and those shots aren't falling, it is very difficult. So once again, I lean towards Texas. They've got the big horses down low, 5 experienced starters coming back. You know they've circled this one, trying to knock off Kansas from winning that Big 12 yet again this season. And they bring in Turner, the 7-footer freshman. They should control the paint, control the glass, keep Ellis low scoring, push Kansas outside, and that's why at home I'm taking Texas minus 3.5. Now let's head over to one of the more underrated conferences in America, and that's the A10, where ranked Dayton hosts a game against Richmond. Yes, they actually do play games at Dayton that aren't playing games, or as the NCAA calls it, the first round. Does anyone really believe that that's the first round of the NCAA tournament? It's really, it's about as annoying as Flo trying to sell me insurance every other commercial on television. I do not want to buy insurance from a middle-aged woman who keeps harping on me. You know why I want to buy insurance? It's because chicken parm, you taste so good. That's where I want to buy insurance from. And that little gecko, that thing, that is where I want to buy insurance from. What was I? Oh, Dayton, Richmond. Sorry about that. Go off on tangents sometimes. But the Richmond Spiders on the road playing well. They come off a victory, a 20-point victory against Davidson, while Dayton started off 5-0 in the A10. But all 5 of those were against the bottom feeders of the A10. They didn't play VCU, they didn't play George Washington, they didn't play Rhode Island, and when they play one of the good teams in the A10, Davidson, they lose by double digits. Now, Davidson was on fire from three-point land, but still, once Dayton got to a good team in the A10, they seemed to have crumbled. Now, they're at home facing off against Richmond, a mid-par team in the A10, but Richmond has 3 good scorers. They come at you with Kendall Anthony, one of the best scorers in the A10. Now, if they shut him down, they also have 2 other options to go with. They have Allen and they have Klein, which gives the Spiders 3 legitimate scorers. And when you're on the road in the A10 against a Dayton team that I don't think has proven too much, I will take Richmond plus 5.5 as my second pick this weekend. Now, let's get some quick hitters for you as I finish things off. St. John's, Duke. Do not bet on this game. Way too much emotion at Madison Square Garden as Coach K goes for his 1,000th victory. Duke will be up, You might see some nerves. You know St. John's doesn't want to be the 1,000th victory for a Coach K. I'm staying away from this game. ESPN is at Michigan on the campus to watch the Wolverines take on the Badgers. Now, the Wolverines somehow beat Rutgers on the road without do-everything guard Karis LeVert. I mean, this guy led the team in points, rebounds, assists, blocks. He gave everyone water. He brought Jim Harbaugh into town. I mean, Karis LeVert did it all. Now they're without him, and they face off against the best team in the Big Ten, Wisconsin. They're going to get up big. Michigan doesn't have the horses to come back in this one. Take Wisconsin and start fading Michigan as the rest of the season goes on. I do not see them getting any better, and I see them losing a lot of games. Stick in Michigan for your degenerate special as Eastern Michigan with that 2-3 Syracuse zone goes on the road to play Central, who can score. And when you can score against Eastern, it takes them out of everything they want to do. Eastern has been terrible on the road so far and has been just as equally bad in the MAC. Central, on the other hand, plays great at home and has done well in the MAC. Give me Central Michigan, and there you have it. Week number 1 here for the NCAA basketball videocast. We'll see everybody next week. And once again, if you want me to shoot a game or talk about a game next week, put it in the comment box, and hopefully I'll get to it. Thanks a lot, everybody.